Hello everyone, I'm making this video to talk a little bit about the ending of the Nathema Conspiracy and speculate a little bit on what may be coming afterwards, assuming that's not the end of the game. So let's start with the ending of the last chapter. I don't know what you think, but I personally thought it was rushed. Events unraveled way too quickly. I mean, we've spent 2 expansions and then some chapters learning slowly about the gravestone and the Eternal Fleet and then the Gemini droids and all that, only to come to the end of this chapter where you get a cutscene where the gravestone blows up the entire fleet, then you fight a guy and immediately afterwards you get another cutscene where the gravestone itself blows up. And I'm like, well, 5 minutes ago we were fine, but now I guess we're back to the way things were before Knights of the Fallen Empire. I kind of get it that they wanted to get rid of these things, but I would have preferred if it wasn't that suddenly and that quickly. Another thing about this ending that makes me wonder is whether this actually is the end of basically everything that we get from Lana Beniko and Theron Shan and that whole alliance that we forged around Shadow of Revan. I think that's where it was. There are 2 good reasons to assume that we might not see any more from them, or at least they will not play any major part in the story. The first reason is that Theron Shan can actually die, and therefore they will probably not develop any significant content for him since he can be dead. And the second reason is that we can actually get married to Theron Shan and Lana in this chapter, and as we know, in Star Wars: The Republic especially, once you get married to a companion, that's usually the end for you and them anyway. That's been the case with all other companions, so it will probably be with these 2 as well. And I guess I'm a little sad if that's the truth. I can't say I was a huge fan of either of them, but they weren't that bad, I suppose. Now, Lana did mention at the very end that she's gonna stay with you no matter what, or something like that. And I don't know what to make of this. I suppose they can meet us halfway and keep Lana Beniko in the story, but remove Theron Shan from it. Who knows? Another question would be, is this the end of the Alliance? And do we immediately jump back to the Republic versus Empire conflict? From I suppose, a role-playing perspective, playing as the leader of the Alliance, I'd like to think that there is more holding us together, more than the 2 super weapons that we possess. It will be weird for us to just fall apart as soon as the gravestone and the fleet are gone, but it is very heavily suggested at the end. You get a choice immediately afterwards about who you're going to be working with next, the Republic or the Empire. And I wonder how important that choice is going to be. What I think would be cool, but will 99% not happen, is the next expansion or the next set of chapters, whatever it's called, we get a new story that has 2 perspectives. So basically 2 unique but somewhat connected stories, one for the Republic and one for the Empire. And your character gets to experience one of these based on that choice at the end of the Nathema Conspiracy. And this would allow, for example, Imperial characters, Imperial classes, to experience the Republic storyline if they chose to seek the Republic, and vice versa. But unfortunately, BioWare is done making unique stories, at least for Star Wars: The Republic. And frankly, I think it's foolish to hope for anything significant of that sort. Perhaps maybe the beginning of next chapter can be somewhat unique based on which faction you chose, but then eventually towards the end it will all come together and continue down the same path. I just don't know how much of a priority Star Wars: The Republic is for BioWare and EA. So yeah, I think that was for the most part what I wanted to say. Let me know what you think. Do you think we're getting a new Forged Alliances type of story whenever the next piece of content is released? Perhaps we get to meet a new set of characters, similar to how we met Lana and Theron so many years ago, and we go off on another adventure. But I'm not sure how that's gonna work. It does seem almost 100% certain that we're going back to the Republic versus Empire conflict, and with all of these characters who potentially die during the Nathema Conspiracy, I just don't know who's going to play a major role in the next expansion. So tell me what you think about all this. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned and be good.